Hey guys, Kano here. So this deck didn't turn out too great, and I have like a little bit, let's call it a hesitation to post lists that don't do very well. I like brewing jank, I like doing cool things with decks, but occasionally you'll have a dud. And if you're brewing decks, duds are inevitable. You'll have more duds than you have victories. So just keep that in mind. There's plenty of ways to improve this deck. Major addition would be Mox Opal for sure, and maybe take the deck in a different direction. But at least we learned something with this deck. I hope you enjoy the VOD, and if you want to see more jank decks like this, we do them all the time. So subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. Thanks. Alright, welcome everybody to the stream. Today, we're going to be playing some new jank decks I was recently inspired to build. Based on some previous experiences. I remembered that there was an interesting artifact deck that popped up a while back on MTG Goldfish, and it turned out to pretty much be a like Tinker for Blightsteel deck based off of Kuldaltha Forge Master, and it was blue-red. And for a blue-red deck, it basically only had some red cards in the sideboard. There was no reason for it to really be running red. And I was like, you know what else is better than red? Probably Ancient Stirrings. So I changed the red out for green, rearranged the deck list a little bit. Also made it worse because I don't have Mox Opals. So we're going to see what happens. This deck is more than a little bit strange. And I just realized I have no tickets. So one moment while I handle that really fast. This looks like a fairly decent starting hand. We'll keep. We're going to start Relic. Since we don't know what we'd like to take with Ancient Stirrings, I'm going to play Spire Bluff into Delver. We untap, we draw another Relic. Well, let's go ahead and Ancient Stirrings and see what we find. Looks like there's a Darksteel Citadel, a Forge Master, or a Forest. We'll take the Forge Master, rest to the bottom, play another Relic, pass the turn. Hopefully we can do something about this Delver before we die. Sorry about that. Also, if our opponent's stuck on one land with an unflipping Delver, that's probably good for us. I'm no magic expert, but that seems like a good place to be. Alright. This is the second Teamer Delver list I've played in a very short while. I'm wondering if that deck is picking up popularity for some reason. Play Inventor's Fair. Play Ichor Wellspring, draw a card. We draw Darksteel Citadel. Darksteel Citadel is pretty good. Opponent gets to look at the top card of their deck. No flips, please. No flip. Opponent plays a land. Also just want to take the time to make a quick side note here. I've let this homebrew age a little bit longer in the smaller bottles, and the hop profile and taste is so much better. It's super good. My goodness, we would really like an Ensnaring Bridge. We're going to crack one Relic just for a land draw here. And play a Darksteel Citadel. Pass the turn. Well, now we're going to have to start running out Forge Masters to block. And I'm praying that these Delvers still continue to not flip. Still no flips. I suspect that our opponent is not running enough instants or sorceries for Delver. I feel like Delver is not that great in Modern. Alright, opponent is representing Cryptic Command mana. No longer are they representing Cryptic Command mana. Opponent plays an Arlinn Chord. Makes a wolf token. I'll exile the land out of their grave. We untap, we gain a life, and draw Field of Ruin. Play Darksteel Citadel. Play Forge Master. Pass the turn. Opponent now has Cryptic Command available, and flips 2 Delvers. This is really gonna hurt. Opponent pumps their team. Are we dead? If we block the ooze, we take 10, 11, 12, 13 and die. Oh, that sucks. Looks like our opponent's got us unless they accidentally F6 through combat. Alrighty, game 2. Opponent reveals their hand as an Arlinn Chord and Polluted Delta. So versus Delver, let's bring in 2 Metallic Rebukes. Sorceress Spyglass, Spellskite, Immortal Sun, and we'll go down... what do we go down here? I feel like Possessed Portal is kind of wishful thinking. Maybe we don't need both Sorceress Spyglasses. I'm okay dropping a Mind Stone, I think. We probably do not need Crucible of Worlds, though Ghost Quartering them to death might be a reasonable game plan. Oh, I think we want the other trading post. If that's the case, we should go down... I guess we don't want... I don't think we want Sorcerer's Spyglass at all, because we already have Pithing Needle. We'll go down a Spellskite. I just brought in a bunch of stuff, and now I'm doubting everything I brought in. Metallic Rebuke still seems strong. Gotta cut 3 cards. Alright, let's cut Spine of Ishsa. I know it answers problematic permanents, but... Actually, we'll cut a Sai. Just to be... Because, like, having a Spine in the deck is actually pretty decent. We might need it. Let's cut the Wellsprings. 2 mana cantripping artifacts is not where we want to be, I don't think. Alright, we'll play first. Fountain of Renewal, Welding Jar, and not much else. If this was a green land, I would fire this off right away, but it's not, so let's mulligan. Okay, Chalice is good. Chalice on 1's really good. We'll keep. Everflowing Chalice to the top. Go to our main phase. Play a Citadel and a Tormod Script. Pass the turn. Opponent Spire Bluff Canal into a Delver. We untap, we draw. Everflowing Chalice. Play Glimmer Void. Put Chalice on 1. It should shut off a lot of our opponent's threats and bolts and nature's claims and all sorts of nastiness. If they have land and, like, a Braid, that'd be kind of sad. Opponent gets in for 1. We take it. Untap, we draw a Forest. Play Inventor's Fair. We will cast a Everflowing Chalice, kicked 1 time. Oh, I just realized the UI is in the wrong place because Magic Online is quality tier programming. Opponent plays a Delver of Secrets, or I mean, their trigger does not flip Delver of Secrets. I really feel like you're not running enough spells, opponent, for this Delver. I think it's kind of wishful thinking on your part. Like, when it flips, you're really going to snowball hard, but, like... We take 1. Untap, gain a life. Let's see what we draw here. Island. We'll play an island. Play a trading post. Opponent mana leaks the trading post. Yeah, we were expecting a counter there. Opponent throws a lightning bolt into the chalice. Untaps, reveals a destructive revelry. Immediately fires off destructive revelry, destroying Chalice of the Void. Gets in for 3, takes us to 14. We untap, we draw. Or we gain a life, we draw. Sai. Play Sai. Pass the turn. Opponent's going to have a tough time actually handling that without multiple bolts. It's not a real clock, but it does give us some value even if they want to counter our artifact spells. Opponent gets in for 3, takes us to 12. We could draw a card with Sai. Don't know how good Tormod's Crypt actually is here. Opponent plays another Delver. This is probably worth it. Sack Chalice, sack Crypt. Draw a card. Draw another Sai. Untap, we draw. Metallic Rebuke. Alright, we'll pass the turn, hold up Metallic Rebuke. We will probably, at the end step, tutor up a Ensnaring Bridge, I think. Opponent gets in for 6. No blocks from us. Oh, we no longer have Metalcraft. Man, I should really read some of my cards. We untap, we draw. Academy Ruins. It's going to be too little too late. We're dead on board. So we scoop it up. Alright, not a great showing for this deck. Alright, we have multiple early plays. So I think we'll keep. Opponent mulligans to 5. That's good news for us. Opponent starts Mountain. Passes turn. We untap. We draw. Inventor's Fair. Well, let's play Darksteel Citadel. Play Relic of Progenitus. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a City of Brass and a Shriekhorn. Well, the good news is we have a Relic of Progenitus. So we untap. We draw an island. Play Inventor's Fair. Play Sorceress Spyglass. Okay, name Shriekhorn. Opponent probably should have activated in response, but they did not. The good news is, at least pre-board, we have a pretty decent matchup versus Dredge, especially when you have turn 1 Grave Hate. Opponent scoops it up. Relic is just strong enough. Okay. Tormod's Crypt, Grafdigger's Cage in. Padim. And let's see. Probably Spellskite. Okay, what do we go down? We gotta go down some of our heavier stuff. Possessed Portal, Spine out. And let's go down probably a Wellspring, a Mind Stone, and a Thopterist. Try like this. Not sorry to be the one guy main decking Grave Hate versus Dredge. Nope, can't keep this hand. Mulligan. This hand is really, really slow, and Dredge is very, very fast. So we will mulligan. Go to 3. All right. Forge Master to the bottom. Opponent starts Copperline Gorge. Shriekhorn. We untap. We draw. Lightning Greaves. Crack Misty Rainforest. Get a Breeding Pool. Ancient Stirrings. I guess we get Tormod's Crypt. Rest of the bottom. Cast Tormod's Crypt. Pass the turn. Opponent mills themselves, milling an Archamoeba and a Creeping Chill. I think getting Lightning Helixed and letting our opponent have a 1/1 here is fine. Tormod's Crypt is something we're going to fire off when they mill a couple of cards that are even worse for us. Okay. Opponent can dredge Stinkweed Imp if they want. They dredge 6 lands and a Prized Amalgam. Opponent Cathartic Reunions. This is tough. I'm not sure if we should Tormod Crypt them now to prevent them from dredging at all, or we should let them dredge and see how many of their threats they hit, and then Tormod's Crypt. Because if they dredge the whole time, they're going to have a handful of dredgers and no payoff. I think we'll go post-dredge. I'm not sure if this is right. Opponent only dredges once. Yeah, let's crypt him. Creeping Chill doesn't go off. Opponent gets in for 1. We did hit 2 Amalgams and a Stinkweed Imp and a Bloodghast, so I mean, it's not all bad. We have a ton of terrible draws here, unfortunately. Very few good ones. Engineered Explosives isn't bad. We could put it on 1. Let's just play Lightning Greaves. Pass the turn. See what our opponent does. We did mulligan to 3, so like... Opponent has another Cathartic Reunion. Only dredges once. Has 3 Bloodghasts in the yard. Gets another Narcomoeba. Plays a land. And now they all have haste. Maybe we should should have put explosives on too. I mean, you know, hindsight and all that, but... Yep, should have put explosives on too. Alright, let's go to game 3. I don't think we have any changes to make. Run it back. We'll play first. I'm in Snaring Bridge, but this is a really slow hand. I guess we keep. Opponent mulligan to 6. Puts a card on the bottom. Start Darksteel Citadel Tormod Script. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire. And passes. We draw Darksteel Citadel. Play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. We would like some non-land draws, if you would please, deck. Opponent fetches with Bloodstained Mire and finds a Stomping Ground tapped. Untaps. Plays a Copperline Gorge and passes. We'll crack Misty. Get a Breeding Pool tapped. Untap, we draw. Forge Master. That's another really slow card. I don't want to run Ensnaring Bridge right out into an Ancient Grudge, so I don't think we'll be doing that. Let's play a Darksteel Citadel and pass the turn. The opponent has an Ancient Grudge. I guess we just exile the land. Opponent resolves Ancient Grudge. Well, I mean it fizzles, but still has it in their grave. They untap. Play a Wooded Foothills. Play Shriekhorn. Cast a Conflagrate for 0. Pass the turn. We draw a Fountain of Renewal. Play a Ghost Quarter. Play a Fountain. Pass the turn. Want to see if we can get him to use Ancient Grudge on maybe this Forge Master. I mean, otherwise we just go get Blightsteel. Alright, opponent mills themselves and mills a Stinkweed Imp. So they're going to get a big dredge this turn. Opponent dredges a Creeping Chill and Prized Amalgam. So they fire off the Creeping Chill. Mills themselves and mills a Narcomoeba. Reanimates Narcomoeba, triggering Prized Amalgam. Just need a way to deal with this Ancient Grudge. Then we can feel pretty comfortable about casting Ensnaring Bridge. Are they flashing back Conflagrate? They are. They discard 3 cards. Okay, we go to 13. Okay, well I think we're going to crack Fountain of Renewal. Because if we get like a Relic of Progenitus here, it's super good. Get a Rainforest, untap. We draw. Wellspring. Cast Wellspring. Draw a card. Draw Sai. Play an island. Play Sai. Pass the turn. Sai can at least block this Amalgam. Opponent mills themselves again, milling another Ancient Grudge and Narcomoeba. Opponent dredges Stinkweed Imp, getting 2 more Narcomoebas and a Creeping Chill. Hopefully the last card in their hand is not a land, and hopefully they don't Faithless Looting into a land either. Because we would need to hit Grave Hate into... They dredge Stinkweed Thug, and they Creeping Chill us again. Opponent gets in for 1. We untap, we draw. Grave Hate, Everflowing Chalice. So play Glimmer Void. Brewing's not illegal at home. Welcome back, Last God 51. Glad to see you. Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing tonight? We gotta save this bridge if at all possible. So I think the best bet is to like make as many Thopters as we can. Good, just drafting a bit. Alright. So let's try casting Everflowing Chalice for 0. Make a Thopter. Do I watch Loading Ready Run It All? No, I don't, but I have a friend that does, so occasionally I hear about cool stuff they do. I think we're going to try and draw into some Grave Hate here. Sack the Wellspring, sack Everflowing Chalice, draw a couple cards. We get an Orbs of Warding. We'll cast Everflowing Chalice. Kicked once. Cast Ensnaring Bridge. We would just like enough creatures to be able to block. Kind of unfortunate that we had to run this out when our opponent has so many Ancient Grudges in the grave, but don't really have a choice here. Opponent dredges a Stinkweed Imp. Opponent flashes back, Faithless Looting. Dredges a Stinkweed. Dredges a Life from the Loam. Discards Double Stinky. Does not attack. We untap. We draw Chalice. Ooh, we can put Chalice on 2 and they can no longer Ancient Grudge us. So play Misty. Chalice is 4 mana. Orbs of Warding is 5. Should always attack. The best defense is a reckless and foolish offense. Yeah, let's put Chalice on 2. Just to make it a little more difficult for our opponent. Get another Thopter. If we survive to this orb... Oh, this also prevents life from the loam. So if we survive to an Orbs of Warding here, we're going to be in a really good spot. And they already have all 4 Nature's Claims in the graveyard. So we may have gotten them here. Opponent Creeping Chills us to 3. Is that all 4 Creeping Chills? That is all 4 Creeping Chills. So I think our opponent needs a Conflagrate to kill us. And I don't think they have it either. Opponent flashes back Faithless Looting. They only have 6 cards left in their deck. So they dredge a Loam. There's a Conflagrate. Discard Stinkweed Imp Life from the Loam. Oh, shoot. Those can attack, can't they? Can we survive this? I think we're dead exactly to 4 Bloodghasts. So block, 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 block. Okay. Sack some Thopters. Draw an Ancient Stirrings. And we die exactly to the Narcomoebas. Ugh. Well, Blightsteel is not what you want in your opener. But, I mean, we have a Relic and we have a Chalice. No colored mana for this Sai, though. That's kind of bad. I'm gonna mulligan to 6. There's better 6s. If only we had Mox Opal. This deck might actually be playable. How do you do? I do. By the way, that Switch has problems with Xfinity because of the configuration of the Xfinity modem router setup. There is a fix, I'm pretty sure, but you're going to have to look it up, and it's going to be a little more research involved than just plugging and unplugging.
Sounds complicated.
Playable brews, that's blasphemy? Yeah, to most people. Let's go to 5. Alright, there's cards, we'll keep. Spyglass on top, don't know what we're against, so it'll be good to have a good peek. Play a forest, pass the turn. Opponent starts. Inspiring Vantage. Looking like burn right now. Suspends a Rift Bolt. We untap. We draw Sorceress Spyglass. Well, let's see if our opponent's running any fetch lands.
Can you name fetch lands?
Choose any card name. Activated abilities with the chosen card name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So we name Wooded Foothills. And play Welding Jar. Pass the turn. Rift Bolt coming off suspend. Unfortunately, our opponent has all 3 colors of their mana that they're ever going to need. Or, I guess 2 of their 3 colors, unless they're running main deck green spells. They play a mountain, they play a Goblin Guide. They reveal an Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, now what are we doing right now? Right now we're playing blue-green Sai Master, which is Sai Master Thopterist and a bunch of artifacts. Also, good to see you, Great Night Lord. Welcome back to the stream. So play an Everflowing Chalice on 1, pass the turn. Opponent bolts our face. I'm aroused. Let's do it. Perfect. This deck's actually bad because I don't have Mox Opals. But opponent does draw us a land, which is really good. So we untap, we draw Kuldultha Forge Master. Oh, right, and we're tinkering for Blightsteel. Play Ensnaring Bridge. Pass the turn. Probably Boros Charms us. Boros Charms us to 6. Well, 2 bolts and we're dead. What in the fresh hell are we doing? Shoot. Well, probably dying, honestly. But you, Kuldultha Forge Master sat, like, with Lightning Greaves out, and then you sack it, and then you get a Blightsteel, and you Lightning Greaves the Blightsteel and run your opponent over. Opponent gets us with a double Skullcrack. Alright. So, versus Burn. Probably want the Spell Skites, probably want the Trading Post. Dragon's Claw seems okay. Tormod's Crypt, Relic out. Claim in to gain some life. Also, welcome back to the stream, Phoenix. Good to see you. Are we playing Arkham Dagamson? I don't even know the meaning of those words. Let's cut Possessed Portal. Also words I didn't think I'd be saying anytime this millennium. And cut... I guess Spine of Ishsa. We could run Padim. Padim's not bad. Human Artificer, target artifacts, creature's controller sacrifices it, searches their library for a non-creature artifact card, puts it onto the battlefield, and shuffles their library. I have never heard of that card. What set is that from? For Destructive Revelry, we have Welding Jar and this Padim, theoretically, which should help. And I think we're going to cut, I guess, an Ichor Wellspring. Cold Snap? So it's Modern legal? Perfect. That'd be fun. Should build a deck around him sometime. We'll play first. This hand is really slow. We do have green mana with the Ghetto Fetch, Darksteel Citadel, Ghost Quarter. You know what? I'm gonna keep this. Play Darksteel Citadel, pass the turn. I did try building a Shape Anew deck, but it didn't turn out very well. Opponent plays a Goblin Guide. Oh man, they're gonna make us draw cards. This anti-ensnaring bridge tech. You turn a Thopter into a Darksteel Forge? That seems like fun. We untap, we draw Pithing Needle. Play Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter Citadel. Get a Forest. Ancient Stirrings. I guess Engineered Explosives? But we can't put it down with one counter right now? Oh, that's brutal. Take Engineered Explosives! And I guess we will Pithing Needle Wooded Foothills in case our opponent is relying on that. Pass the turn. Opponent gets a Sacred Foundry. Well, we guessed the wrong fetch. Goblin Guide number 2. Opponent gets in for 4. Reveals Chalice of the Void. New plan! New plan, everybody. Opponent Lava Spikes our face. We untap, we draw Chalice of the Void. Play an island. Play Engineered Explosives on 1. Play Chalice on 1. Pass the turn. Not too sad if we lose this Pithing Needle. But hopefully we just shut off a good amount of our opponent's deck. Opponent gets in for 4, revealing Kuldotha Forge Master twice. Well, that's really bad if we ever want to empty our hand to bridge. That was weird. Untap. We draw Forge Master. Play Sai. Pass the turn. Next turn, we're probably going to have to crack this Engineered Explosives. Opponent Boros charms us to 3. Never mind, we're probably just dead. Oh gosh. Yep. We die. Alright, so that's 4 matches, and we only came close to beating Dredge because we have a bunch of main deck Grave Hate. So this deck, probably not where I want it to be.